The Church of Scientology, shrouded in secrecy, known for its powerful influence. But what happens when the secrets hit too close to home? Today, we're diving into a shocking police report, one that exposes the dark underbelly of this controversial organization. At the heart of the story lies a family, torn apart by suspicion, manipulated by an unseen force. The family of David Miscavige, the leader of Scientology. This isn't just another Hollywood scandal. This is about betrayal, deception, and the lengths some will go to maintain control. Get ready to be shocked, because what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about Scientology. For years, rumors have circulated about the Church of Scientology, whispers of surveillance, allegations of intimidation, but this police report, it confirms the darkest suspicions. David Miscavige's own family, targeted, spied on, their lives turned upside down by an organization that claims to offer salvation. How could this happen? What secrets were they so desperate to protect? Over the next few minutes, we'll unravel this twisted tale. We'll expose the methods, the motives, the sheer audacity of it all. Because this isn't just about one family's nightmare. It's about the systemic abuse of power that lies at the heart of Scientology. Get ready to go inside a world few have ever seen. A world where loyalty is demanded, dissent is silenced. And the truth? Well, the truth is often the first casualty. To understand the gravity of this police report, we need to understand the church itself. Founded by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology promises spiritual enlightenment, a path to a higher self. But behind the glossy facade lies a darker truth. Scientology operates with an iron fist. Control is paramount. Members are indoctrinated into a belief system that demands absolute obedience. Questioning the church, challenging its teachings, that's met with swift and brutal consequences. Former members, many high-profile celebrities, have come forward with horrifying accounts, stories of psychological manipulation, financial exploitation, even physical abuse. The church denies these claims, of course, but the evidence speaks for itself. This isn't just a harmless group of believers. Scientology is a powerful organization with deep pockets and a ruthless streak. They will stop at nothing to protect their image, to silence their critics, and to maintain their grip on power. Surveillance is deeply ingrained in Scientology's DNA. They call it intelligence gathering. But it's nothing short of spying on its members, on its critics, even on governments. In the 1970s, the church was implicated in a massive espionage operation, codenamed Operation Snow White. Their mission? Infiltrate government agencies, steal documents, all to undermine investigations into their activities. This wasn't an isolated incident. Over the years, numerous reports have surfaced of Scientology using private investigators, hacking into computers, tapping phones, all to keep tabs on anyone they deem a threat. So is it really that surprising that they would turn their surveillance apparatus on their leader's own family? In Scientology, loyalty is a one-way street, and no one, not even family, is above suspicion. Section 3. Controlling the narrative. Scientology is obsessed with image. They want to be seen as a force for good, a champion of human rights. But the truth, as always, is far more complicated. They have an army of publicists, lawyers on retainer, all dedicated to shaping the narrative, to discrediting their critics, to burying any negative press. When allegations surface, they attack viciously. They file lawsuits. They launch smear campaigns. They intimidate witnesses. Anything to silence dissent. This police report, it's a crack in their carefully constructed facade, a glimpse behind the curtain of secrecy, and they will do everything in their power to discredit it, to silence those who dare to speak out. But the truth has a way of coming out, and the world is watching. The question is, will they finally be held accountable for their actions? Section 1. A family under siege. Imagine living under a microscope, every move scrutinized. This was the reality for David Miscavige's family, trapped in a web of paranoia and suspicion, phone calls intercepted, emails monitored, even their homes bugged with listening devices. No aspect of their lives was off limits. They were prisoners in their own homes, their privacy violated in the most intrusive ways imaginable. Who could they trust? Loyalty to Scientology trumped all else. It was a betrayal of the most sacred bonds. What could justify this level of intrusion? The answer lies in Scientology's pursuit of power and control. Section 2. Hidden cameras and listening devices. A chilling reality. The methods employed were as sophisticated as they were insidious. Hidden cameras disguised as everyday objects captured their every move. Conversations, meant to be private, were recorded and analyzed. Their lives transformed into an open book. Imagine the constant fear, the paranoia of knowing that someone is always watching, listening, judging your every word and action. The psychological toll must have been unbearable. The report details how these recordings were then used against them to manipulate, to control, to ensure their silence. It's a chilling reminder of the lengths Scientology would go to maintain its grip on those within its orbit. This wasn't just about gathering information. It was about creating an atmosphere of fear and intimidation, a way to silence any potential dissent before it could even surface. The most disturbing aspect is the alleged involvement of family members, coerced into spying on their own loved ones, turning their backs on their closest allies. The psychological pressure was immense, forced to choose between family and faith. This betrayal cuts deep. It speaks to Scientology's corrupting influence. Why target David Miscavige's own family? What secrets were they so desperate to uncover? This is an organization built on control. Any whiff of dissent is seen as a threat. And who better to expose those cracks than those closest to the leader? Something to use against David Miscavige. That dissent will be met with swift consequences. Scientology's history is littered with stories of former members who dared to speak out. People who saw the organization for what it truly was, and who paid a heavy price for their honesty. They were harassed, intimidated, their lives turned upside down. The church calls it fair game, a policy that allows them to target their enemies with impunity. This surveillance, this intrusion into the lives of David Miscavige's family is just another example of their need for control. Their belief that they are answerable to no one. But why the need for such extreme measures? What are they so afraid of? The answer is simple: the truth. The truth about their practices, their beliefs, their finances, the truth that they have gone to such great lengths to suppress. This police report isn't just about one family's ordeal. It's a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power, of the human cost of blind faith. When an organization believes it's above the law, when it silences dissent with such ruthlessness, it creates a climate of fear, a climate where people are afraid to speak out, afraid to question, afraid to think for themselves. And that is the true tragedy of this story. The erosion of trust, the breakdown of family, the silencing of voices that deserve to be heard. David Miscavige's family may have been the target of this particular surveillance operation, but they are not alone. Countless others have been subjected to similar tactics, their lives upended, their reputations destroyed, all for daring to question the Church of Scientology. This wasn't some amateur operation. The level of sophistication involved points to a well-funded, highly organized effort. This was a professional job, orchestrated by those with the resources and the expertise to make it happen. The equipment used, the methods employed, it all pointed to a level of expertise that's chilling. This wasn't just about planting a few bugs. This was about creating a comprehensive surveillance network, one that could track their every move, intercept their communications, and analyze their every word. The sheer scale of the operation is staggering. The resources required, the manpower involved, it all suggests a level of commitment that's hard to fathom. This wasn't just about protecting secrets. This was about sending a message. And that message was clear. We are watching, we are listening, and we will stop at nothing to maintain control. The police report hints at a disturbing possibility. That this operation wasn't just the work of a few rogue individuals, it suggests a wider web of complicity, reaching the highest levels of the church. Who knew about this surveillance? Who authorized it? These are questions that demand answers. If high-ranking members of the church were involved, it paints a truly disturbing picture. It suggests a culture of silence, of blind obedience, where loyalty to the organization trumps all else, even basic human decency. This wasn't just about protecting David Miscavige. This was about protecting the church at all costs, even if it meant sacrificing the lives of innocent people, even if it meant destroying families. The lengths they were willing to go are truly shocking. Imagine the pressure, the weight of an entire organization bearing down on you, to betray your own family, to choose loyalty to Scientology over blood ties. This was the reality for those caught in the crosshairs. The police report reveals a calculated campaign of emotional blackmail. Family members pitted against each other, forced to choose sides in a conflict they never wanted to be a part of. The guilt, the shame, it's almost unimaginable. To live with the knowledge that you betrayed the people who loved you most. All because an organization demanded it of you. This was emotional warfare, waged on a personal level, and the scars, as we'll see, run deep. The damage inflicted by this surveillance operation goes far beyond violated privacy. It's about the fracturing of trust, the destruction of relationships, the emotional trauma that lingers long after the cameras are gone. How do you rebuild a life when the very foundation has been shattered? How do you learn to trust again when those closest to you have betrayed you in the most profound way? These are questions that David Miscavige's family and countless other victims of Scientology's tactics must grapple with every day. The emotional toll is immeasurable, and the church, they offer no apologies, no remorse, just more silence, more denial, leaving a trail of broken lives in their wake. The police report about David Miscavige's family is a chilling reminder of the lengths to which the Church of Scientology will go to maintain control. It is a story of betrayal, manipulation, and the abuse of power. The Church's willingness to spy on its own leader's family raises serious questions about its moral compass. This story is a stark reminder that blind faith can have devastating consequences. The fight for truth and transparency within the Church of Scientology continues.